Hello, world. Welcome to episode 55 of the Jimmy Canz Show. Classic Supercard retrospective time yet again. Now we will discuss Clash of the Champions 5, St. Valentine's Massacre. All right. It was an NWA event promoted by World Championship Wrestling, held on February 15th, 1989, from the Cleveland Convention Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Attendance was 5,000. It was broadcast live on Superstation TBS, airing just 5 days before the Chi-Town Rumble pay-per-view. The action was called by Jim Ross and Magnum TA. Had about a 2-hour runtime, and it's the largest Clash card so far, featuring 7 matches in total, with 2 being title matches. The opening contest in this card was a tag team encounter, as the Midnight Express, comprised of Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Sand Lane with Jim Cornette, took on Paul Jones's Russian Assassins 1 and 2. Slow match all in all. Typical two managers ringside type match, threatening to come to blows that never happen and does nothing to further the match, honestly. The Midnight's original Midnight Express storyline is still going on, and this match does nothing to further that story, so I don't understand why they did it. So when I looked up this match, it states that the Midnight won. But when I went back and rewatched it, it just cut to a commercial break. And then when they come back, they're interviewing Steamboat. So right before the break, one of the Russians threw Eaton over the top, which is a DQ in the NWA. So I can only assume that was what the decision was in the match. It was in the Midnight winning by DQ. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure because, when you read up on this event, it says that they won. But when you actually watch the event, it doesn't really show. So pretty weird ending. Next up, Hacksaw Butch Reed took on Steve Casey. Reed is fresh off his run in the WWF, and Casey was billed as undefeated up to this point. So both men have a great look, but let's be honest, neither are the best worker. Way too slow and too many rest holds in this match. No idea why they picked these two individuals particularly to work a 17 plus minute match. 17 minutes of rest hold is not very fun to watch. Also, one of the oddest things I ever saw in all my years of watching, a few minutes into the match, the camera cuts to a couple in the audience vigorously making out in the crowd. It was out of place and awkward, and just like, why did the camera cut and focus on that in the middle of a 17-minute match? Other than it was maybe more interesting than what was going on with the rest holds in the ring. Anyway, Reed finally gets the win at the end of this snooze fest with a top rope shoulder tackle, thus ending the undefeated streak of one Stephen Casey. Next up, the total package. Lex Luger took on the Black Mailer with Hiro Matsuda in his corner. Luger was the first competitor since the Express to actually get an entrance on this event. Another snooze fest here, to be honest. Booking for this, was pretty bad in my opinion. Why they picked who they picked to have longer matches doesn't make a lot of sense. This match went 10 minutes longer than it should have, but Luger does get the win with a superplex. And the reason I think he was using that, was to help heighten the feud he is having with Barry Windham, since that was Windham's finisher, and they had a match scheduled for Chi-Town Rumble. So next is our first of the 2 title matches. This one for the NWA United States Tag Team Championship. The Varsity Club is being represented by Mike Rotunda and Dr. Death Steve Williams. They are joined by Kevin Sullivan, and they are taking on the 2-time former champions of the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers. Honestly, this is a match that should have gone longer, not the previous 2. But I understand why it didn't, which I'll explain later. But anyway, the Varsity Club does get the win in this one when the illegal man Rotunda hits a stomp on the back of Rogers' head during a pin attempt and then knocks him silly, and they get the win. So Varsity Club retains the United States Tag Team Championships in this one. Next, we have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat taking on Bob Bradley. Total enhancement match here. Doesn't make a lot of sense on why you would put an enhancement match like this on a Clash card, but I think they were just trying to showcase Steamboat a little bit since he's fresh off of his run in the WWF and recently returning to the world of NWA/WCW. And Steamboat, picks up the win in this one with relative ease with a big top rope cross body to help give him momentum going into his title opportunity with Ric Flair at Chi-Town Rumble. So next up, a non-title match. NWA World Television Champion Rick Steiner took on the Big Kiwi, Rip Morgan. So is it me, or does Rip Morgan kind of remind you of a bootleg Bruiser Brody? I mean, that's what I see when I look at him. But anyway, this is a pretty quick match as well. I think it was about, under 5 minutes, with Steiner picking up the win via a belly-to-belly suplex. So now we have the main event of the evening for the NWA Six-Man Tag Team Championship. The champions, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, with Precious Paul Ellering teaming with Genichiro Tenryu, and they were scheduled to face Sting, JYD, and Michael P.S. Hayes. But Kevin Sullivan locked them in the basement stairwell. So then, the Varsity Club proceeds to storm the ring and get the title opportunity. So, obviously, with Rotunda and Williams having to pull double duty now, joined by Sullivan, this is why their U.S. tag match couldn't go longer. But, honestly, this was a typical Road Warriors brawl, and it ended in a double DQ in only about 6 minutes. Once JYD, Sting, and Hayes got out of the stairwell and they hit the ring, and then all 9 men brawled. So, like I said, this was only about 6 minutes all in all, and why Williams and Rotunda couldn't have gone a little longer with the Fantastics and actually given us a solid match on the card in the evening, I don't know. But, it is what it is there. So that, is the entire card. And honestly, this was a meaningless show. Just 5 days before pay-per-view, and it really didn't do much of anything to further any of the storylines, in my honest opinion. I got to give it a rating, though. So, my 10-belt scale, Clash of the Champions 5, St. Valentine's Massacre. It's a bad show. It's going to get a 3 out of 5 belts. And that's all I got to say about that. So next up in our classic Supercard retrospectives, we will discuss the aforementioned Chi-Town Rumble 89. So I'm not sure exactly when I'll get to that. We've got an NXT takeover coming up in a few weeks. Check out the Royal Rumble prediction show with Rodney and I. That is up, episode 54. So give that a listen. Please play along with us. And, like I said, we'll have a NFL mock draft special coming up. We'll have Elimination Chamber coming up. We'll have Fastlane coming up. There's a lot, lots and lots to discuss. So give the channel a like, a share, subscribe. Wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. Take care of one another, and I will see you when I see you.